Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We got some special guests joining us today.
Who we got?
We got Charlie Walk and Stefan Benz. Welcome.
Hey, thank you very much for having us.
Now, Charlie Walk, if people don't know who you are, let's start off from there.
Thank God you do.
Some of the history.
That's all that really matters.
And some of the things that you did in this thing we call the music industry.
You know, I started off early. Like when I was at Columbia Records at 18, my first job was to work with like LL Cool J, into Slick Rick, into New Kids on the Block.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the sense of like real artist development, real artists that did the work. That's sort of been the way it was. When we met Destiny's Child, Beyonce was 14.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there were 5 girls in Destiny's Child. I don't know if you guys know
5?
that. At the beginning, and then there were 3.
Wow.
So we got to see, when Beyonce walked in the room with her mom and dad at 14, you were in the presence of greatness.
You knew it
Before No, 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 right? Before all the hits. Yeah, so I always say stars are born, not made.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the reasons why we're here today is we're talking about like this crazy TikTok thing where everyone thinks they can cheat and cut the line, right? And go like this and pray to God something happens.
Mm-hmm.
But the real stars do the work. I mean, look at you. How long did it take you, right?
Yeah, I've been doing it 25 years.
Okay,
yeah.
right? But did you do the work?
Absolutely.
Did you just go on TikTok and say, hey, I'm the star?
No, I started off as an intern.
So I was an intern at Kiss 108 in Boston.
Wow.
Back in the day, because I wanted to get into business and I started working with talent. The first thing was like New Kids. There was no MTV or YouTube or TikTok. It was like FM radio was your only narrow lane. If you couldn't get through that, no one heard you. So how do you break shit, right? You got to go through community. And the biggest stars actually broke in regions, right? Community. If you look at the biggest rappers, did the work. So what's happening now is no one's developing talent. The labels are taking stuff off TikTok. You guys have to play a lot of crap, right? If you really think about it, not sticky stuff. You play songs, but how many artists do you guys really get excited about in the course of a year? It's gotten down to very low numbers because of sort of that TikTok thing where people just going up and throwing, Hail Marys.
I don't listen to the radio for music.
Great. Don't listen to the way we work, huh?
I listen for talent. I listen for the personalities. I don't listen for the music.
Of course. So, but back in the day we did that. And then in the last many years, Ariana Grande, The Weeknd. The Weeknd was a big part of my life at the beginning when we were trying to figure out how to take like the Prince of Darkness, but have him play wide, but still stay within brand. And so we were part of like the transition of like Kissland, that album, to Can't Feel My Face. And that was a really great thing to like have someone that created his own brand, but how do you figure out how to get to stadiums and arenas? I think the biggest stars do that. And I think that's why, we work with a guy like Stefan. We met him at 12. If you heard the audio that was sent to us at 12, you knew the kid had pitch perfect tone. And then you have to sort of like imagine and manifest the future. Well, what's he going to look like at 15 or now 16 or 17? And if you get in early enough and you develop the talent and you don't chase the song, you chase the artist, you end up with, a real career. This is kind of like where I'm at today, thinking about it takes longer. You don't make money right away, but at the end of the day, you end up in a stadium and arena, right? And don't you guys want the biggest stars in the world to fill up your shows and all that stuff? And
Absolutely. I just wonder, can you really predict like who's going to be legendary? Like when Beyonce walked in the room all those years ago, did you look at that group and say, she's going to be one of the greatest stars of a generation?
Yeah, so I believe stars are born, not made. I believe you can look someone in the eye and you can look at them and you can feel their talent. And I believe it happens at 7 or 8. Just look at the history of the biggest stars. Ask all their moms at 7 or 8 what they were doing. They were weird. They came out different. They were singing. They were playing the drums. They were doing something different. And I find that for every single artist that I've met. And if you interview some people, like, and you look at them and say, what do you do at 7 or 8? They're all going to pretty much tell you the same thing. If their mom's in the room behind you, they're all going to tell you that my kid was different. And it's not even about legacy. It wasn't like their parents screw up in the music business per se. There was something special about them. The biggest stars every single time were born that way.
Damn, so Stefan, that got to be pressure for you, right? That's a lot of pressure, bro, hearing all that.
I got this pressure. I mean, I'm from South Africa. My parents moved here just for me to do this, so I got pressure from there. I got pressure from this, but, I think that's when I do best, honestly.
And you a South African artist?
I'm South African, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not American yet. I'm still working on that.
Still working on it. So how did you find Stefan?
Still working on that.
So break that down.
I did a lot of red carpet stuff, running labels, and this guy, Manny Mejedes, every time I saw him on the red carpet, gave me a hug, and I didn't even know. I'm like, who's this guy bugging me, man?
That was almost right.
Right? He's bugging me. And, you guys were out there a lot. People were touching you and calling you and trying to, like, get in, and Manny was one of those guys. But I always respect the people that try to find out my hustle and whatever. And when I left Republic to be my own independent music man, he came up to me because I got this kid from South Africa. I'm like, man, I'm good. He goes, he's 12. I'm like, what am I gonna do with a 12-year-old? I said to my wife, she goes, you're gonna sign a 12-year-old now? That's your next big thing? She goes, are you kidding me? She goes, we got to feed the kids. And I said, man, he come to New York. So he flew them from South Africa, from Cape Town, right, to New York City. We met at a club or a bar or something with his parents. And here's what I saw. I see this kid who's shorter than me, and I'm short. And I see his father who's 6'2". And I'm looking at his father. I'm looking at him. I'm like, all right, sing. He sings for me, and I hear this. And you guys may have the audio of it. It's crazy. The audio that you have is what he basically did for me. And I'm like, if he can sing like that, and he's going to look like that, meaning his dad, who's this gorgeous 6'2" dude from South Africa, blonde hair and blue eyes, I'm down to spend 4 years at least developing him and dealing with voice drops, adolescence, the mom, the dad, the whole crazy moving from another country to LA. And you guys know what LA is like, that grind there. But I was willing to do it with Manny and partner up and just go for the ride. I used to get DMs saying, why you're going to develop a 12-year-old? That's your next move. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, you guys don't know what you're talking about because that's what I do. My DNA is to develop artists and see the future as best that I can. But when I saw that moment, you got to look at the DNA of somebody. Pitch perfect, wants it, has the eye contact, and then you got to see, is he going to be as tall as his daddy? And that's where we are today.
Do we have the audio?
No, we'll have it though. But
yeah, I want to hear it.
What I'm hearing now is
it's crazy.
to meet Charlie Walk, you just got to hug him on the red carpet. So
My dad's gonna love what Charlie's saying in this podcast.
But it's true. So everybody who wants a deal, you see Charlie Walk, just give him a hug and keep giving him a hug and keep giving him a hug until he finally realizes.
Well, it's persistence, right?
Yeah.
You know, you said it best. Like you said, you're an intern, right? Weren't you screaming to get people's attention? You're in the intern. You're looking for the person that can give you a shot to put you in front of a camera and put you on a mic. By the way, you were a star as an intern, and you were trying to figure out how to have people like understand what you knew inside you. You're no different than him. You're no different than any. You're no different than like my favorite artist right now is Ice Spice.
Really?
Yeah, I just think she's dope, and I think so. My friend James Roseman Jr. manages her. He brought her to me a couple years ago. I wasn't in the mindset of doing it, but he was, and he wrote the check. And now she's the biggest cultural phenomenon of the last year. But that took years. She didn't just wake up last year and say, "I'm Ice Spice. I'm going to wear this look, and I'm going to go on TikTok and pray to God." No, she developed. People think when artists just appear, you know, on Power, iHeart stations, that, you know, they just appear through TikTok. No, the years and years of going through the real talent, the ones that end up at your shows, the ones that end up, you know, with thousands and thousands of fans. I was at John Mayer last night. I worked with John Mayer 20-something years ago. He's 45 now. Did 2 sold-out nights at Madison Square Garden solo. Do you know how many years it took to get to that point?
Yeah.
You guys all forget, right, about the work.
Yeah.
Because we're in this celebrity world that moves so fast today with social media. So I think, like, for me, it's like take a step back and think about, are you betting on the song or the artist?
You keep using this term artist development. What is that? What is that nowadays?
Well, I don't think the labels do it anymore. They'd rather overpay and pluck the same data from TikTok.
Word.
So it's like a data game, right? I say gut before data. You know, and artist development means you can't run a marathon unless you trained for it, right? You can't be. Tom Brady's not playing the Super Bowl unless he's had years and years and hours of throwing that ball in plays. It's the same thing with an artist. He's developed. He's training his voice, songwriting, getting out there, playing live. All of that stuff you see, again, from the biggest stars in the world, took years and years of getting it right and making mistakes. So I'm in that game. Like, I want to be in the long term. I call it the stadium game. How do you get to the stadium?
Word.
That's how you make money in music, right?
Word.
You have an artist that's playing clubs and has no hits and can't perform and has no fans. So the game today is band and fans. And fans will hire you or fire you. Has nothing to do with the labels, has nothing to do with anyone else. It's the fans. The fans will keep you going, or they'll fire you if you suck. So you got to think about that. That's the narrow mentality in which I play in today, and I think it works, and I think it makes sense. Think about, what does a fan do? What's the ecosystem of a fan? They buy your tickets, they stream your songs, they buy your products, right? So if they're not doing it, does it show up in your research to play it? No.
That's real.
So what really matters? Fans. So
Stefan,
we're fan focused.
It's interesting, right? Because your generation wants things now.
That's
right. Y'all live in a very immediate, era. So how is that for you to have that patience and to have to wait and to have to develop?
I mean, yeah, it's hard considering I moved from South Africa just to do this, and you want it to just happen instantly, right? Of course, you want the success and you want it to just happen for you, but that's just not how it's gonna work. And that's why ever since, I mean, when I was 12, I thought I was ready, but it's just not the case, and that's why ever since I was 9 years old, when I started singing, I've been learning the guitar, piano, and all this stuff has kind of been accumulating for the last 4 or 5 years for me to just be ready for when it does happen, So it's just good to be prepared in that sense.
What made you come here? Because the South African music scene is over the last 10 years is so huge, so big, so many stars. So what made you say, you know what, I'm gonna leave that scene and come to the U.S.?
Yeah, I got signed in South Africa when I was like 9 or 10 years old. I was super little. I met this record label over there, and I sang in front of like 10,000 people. Like 3 days later, I opened the show. It just went crazy in South Africa, and I was like, you know what? Hollywood's the entertainment capital of the world. Let me and my whole family, my little sister, all just go over there and try it. Literally, let's just take a gamble. Let's go try, and I'm so thankful for my parents for that. My parents believed in me enough to just go gamble, like just go see if anything happens, and it did.
What do your parents do?
My dad works in construction, and my mom just helps him.
Yeah, I mean, it was really believing you to just say, you know what, we're gonna uproot our life here.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I think the other thing is my parents, they don't do music. They don't know nothing about that. My parents were both athletes, like they were running and playing sports and stuff, so they had no idea. That's why when I think the reason they believed is because other people were telling them, because they didn't think when I was a little kid like, oh, my kid can sing. They were like, oh, it's just like, oh yeah, he sings. Like,
He's right. When
like
I met
does.
Matthew Knowles, he was a Xerox salesman that put together Destiny's Child.
Wow.
And people forget, you always see the celebrity side of it when they blow up. Like, success has many fathers, as we all know. But like, I always try to go back and trace, like, how the hell did they get here? Like, you guys see everybody through here. You ever think about like, how did they get here? Because you guys see such tonnage of talent, a dog pile of talent. But like, I'm like, well, how did they even do this? So I study. Like, I have that Harvard mindset of like, well, what's the case study of like how they got here? If you trace it back, it's very consistent and very repetitive over time for the real stars, guys, not the one-hit wonder BS shit. The real stars.
Break it down. What's the science behind real stars?
Well, first of all, they have to want it more than you.
Okay.
They're the CEO of themselves. They have vision. They're not puppets, and they have a work ethic like you've never seen. Taylor Swift is the most intense, incredible, focused artist I've ever seen in the world. When I met Beyonce at 14, it wasn't like fun. You don't go out and have fun with the artist. It was serious art conversation about the music and what it's going to be and what the brand's going to be. And they always would say, like, the general thesis is an artist is a brand is a promise. What's your promise? And they knew their promise. The consistency, how they were going to repeat what they're doing with their art to the masses over and over and over again to create the groundswell of talent that ended up making them, be arena acts. So it's a very consistent approach. Consistency is critical and great art, right? So last night when I saw John Mayer, I put up like, you can't fuck with great, right? Great is great. Good is the evil of great. Do you want to go see a good artist play? Do you want to see a great artist play? What would you rather do?
A great artist. Yeah. That's what inspires you.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like a dumb conversation, right? But it's so factual when you break it down that way. And then if you play that way in music, even if like you guys, everyone's hitting you guys up like, Charlamagne, I got this new act. And if you ever stop and listen to it, and if you see greatness, like deal with it, embrace it. Not all the crap that comes through, and most of it, 99% of it's crap, as you know, real talk. It's only 1% of it that makes it anyway. And they make it not because they had labels money. They made it because they're great. So I like to say, how do we get in the great business together, right? And it's not that hard when we all have different personalities, different backgrounds, but if we all kind of agree that one thing's amazing, and you go to an arena and you see all different types of people, right? From South Africa, from New York, doesn't even matter, from Mexico, all coming together as one because they're embracing this feeling of this artist. Same way people listen to you guys, like you have such a wide audience, a diverse audience, because you guys play wide, but you're consistent in what you do, and it's quality. It's great. It's a great morning show. It's not a good morning show like that other one. It's a great morning show. That's why it works. That's why you guys are here. That's why you get paid. So I kind of break it down that way when we think about, the artist developing. I mean, I say to everyone out there, so many parents call me and hit me up on DM, my kid, TikTok. TikTok's fine, but TikTok is not the platform that's going to break you. It's you and your art, right? TikToks, Reels, all these things come and go. it's the content that you're feeding into those platforms that's gonna the snackable 15 or 30 seconds of great that's gonna maybe go viral if you did the work, right? It's not gonna be TikTok. So that's I try to preach that more than ever, and he hates TikTok. He doesn't care about it because he's chasing his art, not the song in the moment to be goofy.
But your art still has to be there, though.
Yeah,
even if it's good,
of course.
you got to have somebody working that for you.
That's the whole thing. Is that pretty much every time I think we've called in the last 2 years, it's like, Stefan, that's great. You're killing it in the studio. I see you playing the guitar and you're doing so great. But I just need you to post a TikTok every day, and that's the part I struggle with because I'd rather just get good at what I'm doing, and I'm far more interested in my craft and being better at what I do every single day than and especially when I post a TikTok and it's like actual good stuff that I do and I take time to do a cover does worse than me doing some stupid lip sync trend or some some stupid thing. So
you guys understand, like, you have to be goofy on TikTok. Like, it forces you, right? You have to be effing goofy. And this kid's like, I'm not being goofy. Like, you have to do obscure, goofy things to get into the algorithm to possibly be in the For You page to go viral, right? Goofy. Like, he doesn't want to do goofy. I'm not going to get in a fight about it. So he's just going to stick to chasing the artist versus chasing the song. And, not being a one-hit wonder. And those one-hit wonders are like cleaning our apartments now. Like, what do we do? Like, we're not doing that shit.
I mean, I still post a TikTok every day. I have to.
We fight about it.
We still got Olga, the
guys,
publicist,
we do fight
the
about
social
it. We
media
fight
stuff.
about
Just post from the studio. How much does it cost to break a great artist? 'Cause it's still a cost, right?
It's a lot of money. And I'll tell you why. So it's years, number one, right? Do we agree it's years?
Time is money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, he's got to eat. He's got to travel. He's got to have a crew. And I don't mean an entourage, but I mean we have an amazing publicist. We have amazing stylists. We have hair and makeup. We have studios. We have people that are, betting on him, sharing in the future revenue of songwriting and production. But I would say it's hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of 3 or 4 years.
Yikes.
And so you have to. So what I do with our company is we deploy capital to fund, and we become partners with the artists, and we're making the bet. And by the way, we better be right.
I apologize for the damage I've caused.
Let's talk about American Idol. You were on American Idol, right?
Yeah, I
and
went
how
on
was
American
that?
Idol. Oh man, I was so stressed out. Apparently, American Idol's 21, which is crazy. It's the 21st season. American Idol can finally drink, but I went on. I was approached by American Idol to ask me to go on the show, and I went on an audition. It's Katy Perry, Luke Bryan, Lionel Richie, and I usually don't get too nervous, and if I get nervous, it's super like internal. I don't usually show it, but I remember I was like, nah, it's good. Like, it's just me singing in front of 3 people in a room. Like, I'm just gonna look at them. Usually that's where I feel like I thrive. And I walk into this room and I'm like so nervous. Like, I walk in and I have a water right now. Like, I needed water so badly. I was so scared that they were gonna pick up my mouth being dry on the mic. Like, so many things were going on.
You do it anxiety?
No, not really. No, I'm pretty chill so far, But in all honesty, that was if I've ever gotten close, it was right in that moment. I got super stressed out, super dry mouth. I sang my song. Obviously, people don't expect me to be from South Africa, so I said I'm from South Africa. That was kind of part of the story, and I got Katie to say my first language is Afrikaans, and when I was done and I made it through to the next round, which is all that's been aired so far, is that I made it to the next round, the Hollywood week. She said, you're going to Hollywood in Afrikaans. She went, "Jij gaan Hollywood too," and then everybody loved that back in South Africa. So that's actually, let me talk about that. That's been feeling really good. Like, now that I did this stuff over here, all the people back in South Africa are hitting me up saying how proud they am of me for representing and not changing to who I could be here. You just become American. And you hear my accent. I mean, the thing is, if you go back to this in a second, the way I used to speak, I could go back to this accent. It's more of just I'm young. Like, the accent just came. It's not a part of me leaving. It's just how people speak here. I'm young. The accent went away, but I'm super happy that I've been able, so far at least, to represent South Africa, and I'm glad the people in South Africa see it that way too.
Wow. I wanted to ask, right? Like, if you're from a small town, you don't got no connections, no real money to invest, but you got a lot of talent.
Yeah.
You one of those. What do you do to get an opportunity with somebody like you, Charlie? Or by just anyone to discover you?
You mean, how do you get someone's attention that actually could do it? I think what stops me is talent. It's like how do you stop the scroll on Instagram? What makes you? And you're going, you guys lie in bed at night, you wake up in the morning, you're going to get ready to do the big morning show here, and you're scrolling through your stuff, and you get producers and stuff, but you're looking for something to inspire you. What stops you to make you say, I'm going to talk about that? It's the same exact thing. No, we're all the same. So if something stops me, I stop and really pay attention to why did that. If that stops me, I try to be in the mindset of I represent everybody, right? It's not about me having an ego. It's like if I'm feeling it, my temperament for a hit record or stardom, I'm representing everybody. My mindset is, how does it play wide? So for me, the way people like find me, they hit me on DM, and I look through every DM and I listen. We pay attention. You got to be in the culture, right? I try to be timeless about it. Like I'm an OG, but I try to be in the culture by listening to, I don't want to say younger people, but people that are in it that I respect. If you said to me, if you pull me aside after this and you say, Charlie, I'm telling you, my cousin Janie just sent me some shit that's amazing. Like I haven't seen this. I would like stop what I was doing and maybe go see her right now. It's like I'm like that because like you're connected and you would not normally say that to me unless you felt it, right? So I'm in, like you just never know when great can happen at any time. So the idea is if there's greatness, it somehow finds its way, right? Great finds its way, whether it's Manny to you to me to New York, or anything that touches any of us in the entertainment business. So that's kind of how it is. Every situation is different, right? Every single artist broke differently, but they all were born with that same star chip. You were born with a star chip. Star chip in your brain just made you different. Every artist that becomes successful, you can trace it back to their early days, 5, 6, 7, 8, Ariana Grande, Justin Timberlake, all of them, Beyonce. If you ask all their moms, all their dads, same age as when the stuff started going different, right? And that 7 or 8 year old period. Not if you're 28 years old and coming to me, I say to you, social media has been around for 20 years. What were you doing at 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20? What, now I'm going to come make you famous? No, you don't want it. Or maybe not a star. Hard conversation, but that's the reality of it, right? Very hard to break a 28-year-old that didn't do the work.
So in that case, social media is good then to get attention. Yeah. Okay.
Well, if you're doing the work, you're putting yourself up. I'm saying social media is fine if you're using it the right way, not to be goofy, right? Not try to cheat and cut the line. You got to do the work.
I see you got your guitar there.
You acting like you want to do something.
What that guitar be about?
You already know.
You acting like you want to do something.
You already know I want to.
All right, well, let's do it.
I'm going to play a song?
You sure? We're not going to edit nothing now, so just make a break. Right? Charlie been talking a lot of talk.
Listen, you were talking in the beginning about the pressure.
Turn on the auto tune.
Flip the switch right now. This is a song called Just Friends by Music Soul Child.
Oh, yeah.
I actually sang this song on Idol, but they cut it out and used another one. So this is Music Soul Child. Girl, I know this might seem strange, but let me know if I'm out of order for stepping to you this way. See, I've been watching you for a while, and I just gotta let you know that I'm really feeling your style, 'cause I had to know your name and leave you with my number, and I hope that you would call me someday. If you want, you can give me yours too, and if you don't, well, I ain't mad at you. We can still be cool, I'm not trying to pressure you, just can't stop thinking about you. You ain't even really gotta be my girlfriend, I just gotta know your name. Maybe sometime we can hook up, hang out, just chill. Damn, I'm surprised that you called. By the way that you walked away, I thought I won't gon' see you no more, since you didn't wanna give me your man. I thought that you were digging me and wasn't digging me. Yeah, but anyway, what you doing tonight? I'll probably be with my peeps. If it's cool with you, maybe we'll swing by, and you could just chill with us, or you could just chill with me. As long as you're comfortable, you feel secure when you're with me. I'm not trying to pressure you, just can't stop thinking about you. You ain't even really gotta be my girlfriend, I just gotta know your name, and maybe sometime we can hook up, hang out, just chill.
All right.
Okay.
Stefan Benz, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
where can people find you if they want to find you, follow you, download music, stream, and all that good stuff?
Well, my name's Stefan Benz. Stefan with an F, not a PH, and Benz like Mercedes. So Stefan Benz everywhere. Stefan Benz official on Instagram. I'm Stefan Benz. TikTok. Go follow my TikTok, please. That's what we're focusing on.
Are you gonna mess with Afrobeats? You got to do Afrobeats.
Oh, I do Afrobeats all the time. I got
That's
a song
actually
coming
very
out.
smart.
Wait, actually, I want to say something real quick.
That's
my
smart.
dream, right now, at this very moment, like the dream of like the next 6 months / year, is to do a song with Rema. Have you heard of Rema?
Mm-hmm.
He's the dude that sings the song, the Calm Down song that just did it with Selena. My dream right now, dream collaboration or dream for a song in the next year is a song with Rema. Like,
Put it out there.
I love that dude, man.
Manifest.
So,
There
that's
you
the
go.
manifestation. That's
I almost feel like you got to do Afrobeats.
Yeah, of
I
course.
love doing
It
that.
just makes too much sense.
So we were
And it's so
just at Swahili Village in Newark. That's our favorite place. Every time we come over here, we go over to Newark. We go to Swahili Village. Got the best music. That's where we heard that song for the first time, the Calm Down song, months before it got big. They were playing it over at Swahili Village, and me and Manny go there every time we come over here. So that's our favorite place.
All right.
That
Thank
is
you
gonna-
guys for
That's going
joining
to piss
us.
everybody off. Stefan Benz become the biggest voice in Afrobeat.
And win a Grammy
Oh,
for
man,
it?
yeah,
Oh, my
they-
goodness.
That's funny.
Well, Charlie Walk, Stefan Benz, thank you for
guys.
joining us this morning. We appreciate you guys, and good luck with everything.
Best
Thank you
morning
so
show in the
much.
country. Let's go.
You said it, not us. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up. In the morning. The Breakfast Club.